Welcome to Driven by Me, and this is today I will be doing something new. Um, and I don't have a lot of time. I'm going uh, at 9. I need to be down like in an hour. But I'm trying to do the best I can. Is my microphone working this time? Yes. Is the chat working this time? As usual, yes. And what else? I need to check YouTube. Let's put some music. The music working. Okay, so in this, I don't have music, so I'll need to go full screen. Copy phone audio and bring it there. Okay, so today I want to do the start of the finite-state machine in C++ in Unreal, and maybe tell you what it is, why to use Swift, the finite-state machine. It's design pattern. So and when do you need it? When do you need it? We might not need it, but I guess we will eventually need it. So usually at the current state, I should state pattern. Okay, it's the state pattern. It's the original. The thing is, eventually I know we will need it, but yeah, it could be a good idea to start it now, even though it would be very simple. So usually you have you start with instead of a finite state, you can do a behavior tree when you do AI. You could do an AI with a finite state machine. The state pattern. So it's a way to when you have the different behaviors, you want to switch between the behaviors, the state. So when it's a character with the finite state machine, is that let's say you start with Unreal Blueprint basic third person. You could manage to use it and be fine with it, but eventually it will bottleneck your main loop, because the blueprints are not very optimized, in the sense that You could use Blueprint for UI because the game is not like very UI centric usually. Sometimes it is when you do kickers and textual games, but Unreal, you might not use Unreal like that. But the blueprints, you will end up, especially for the character controls, because they will be like the most used during your game loop. So the blueprint will end up being slow. It's where it will be most visible because it's very used, like character control is very used compared to UI. And so you will want to switch to C++. That's why I would do it in C++. Because blueprints, there are many things that can slow down. Like the tick is slower in blueprint than in C++. And I don't know why. I could ask AI and see if AI gives sources, because AI, as you know, has some percentage of hallucination. Why does do blueprint in Unreal are slower than C++? And my repeat of fine. Blueprints are interpreted. Just like Python, there is some stuff in the background. It uses a virtual machine. And also, I heard that when you do a blueprint, you should do you still should start a blueprint with the class, a C++ class, because it will take memory, the IP, and I guess it's the virtual machine that takes memory. But if you do it in, you start a blueprint from a custom C++ class, you can manage to change, and it won't load into something. It was like yeah. At runtime, in contrast, C++ code is compiled directly to optimize. So what does it mean? Like in Python and in GDScript, you have you don't need to type your variable, which means that, let's say you want a float, you can just write the name of the variable equals the number, and if the number is a float, the interpreter will look, would see, and will give it a float variable. So this interpreter do this in the background. But in C++, you tell what it is the type of your variable. You tell, okay, this is a float. You yourself do it. There is no interpreter that needs to guess what it is and create this place in memory that fits a float. So there are stuff like that that makes it not interpreted code faster. Language rather than code. Performance of each blueprints. No, you could look at yeah. Preference overhead. Each blueprint nodes adds a layer of abstraction required, bring additional processing for each step of logic. For loops, yeah, the for loops I heard maths is the worst. You should do them in C++. Blueprints are best for rapid prototype. Yes, that's the The good thing about blueprints, it's like you go two, but like 4 times faster. I in my internship, I was asked to do only blueprints because I was doing UI, dialogues, and stuff that are not game mechanic intensive. And I was finishing tasks faster than three guys. Yeah, three guys. There was three other guys with me, and I was I was canceling the task like it was nothing. And the three other guys were in one task. They were on one task for like 3 weeks, and 3 weeks I had done like a couple of tasks that were as big because I was on blueprint. That's the good thing about blueprints. But if you want to avoid, it's the for loop, the math. The tick, I heard the tick is slower. Tests show that actor logic, especially with many iteration or actor on screen, exhibit up to 20%, sometimes much more improvement performance over blueprints and much. Okay, the actor. Unreal recommend combining both designing. I heard that that you should start blueprint on custom class, C++ class, because the basics blueprint takes more memory, more memory. Is that true? And it's also what I heard was, yeah, I will ask this first. The advice is start blueprint from simple scratch rather than as mirrored, especially for optimizing memory usage and project architecture. Here are the key point: blueprints add overhead. A blueprint class is essentially wrapped around a native class, adding its own layer of abstraction and metadata. When you create a basic blueprint, it may carry some memory overhead. Custom class base class allow linear blueprints. If you start with a custom class C++, you have precise control over properties, logic, and memory management. Yeah. Okay, that's could be why. Custom C++ class inherit this efficiency. Okay, that's why. They only add what you explicitly. Oh, okay. Avoiding redundancy. I'm not sure if it's true. I would need to look at all those videos because AI sometimes it led me to mistake. So I would say don't take it word for word. Look at the videos. I will especially take one and go on a break and play that in the background while and be back. Welcome your daily smiles. Okay, pause. Break is over. Now I'm back. So a finite state machine, why when you need to use it is when your blueprint, let's say you make your character control in blueprints. A part of your blueprints being the bottleneck. Let's say it's not a bottleneck, everything runs fine. The issue why you would switch to finite state machine is when your blueprint becomes a big spaghetti because you have you want your character to act differently based on the interaction with the elements in the game. Like your character jumps in the air and you want your character to be hit and play a hit animation when he's getting it mid-air. And every state like that, you want them specifically coded. And then it can be depending on your game mechanic, it can be even more complex. Like let's say you jump mid-air and you want the character to stop time, open a menu, select a weapon, many things like let's say get it in the air, and your gameplay is that when this happens, the game can pause, and then you can select an attack. But it's especially when let's go to the ad. The ad, so it gives some money to the guy. TPR. So it's especially when you want different animation, like when he's crouching and getting hit, like you have a crouch hit animation. So that's why you would use a finite state machine. It's to have many different state for your character. And we will have, because the mechanics of our game will be multiplayer, and there will be different interaction as such, that the character might jump and get hit, might fall and get hit, might be crouching and get hit, and many other things I don't recall in my head. I can't imagine, like throwing or something and get hit. But everything depends on the animation. It can be other stuff rather than animation. As I said, it could be like mid doing something else. Could be, depending on your gameplay, it could be very complex. Like jumping in the air and making a flip. So let's say you try this in blueprints, it would become very huge and complex without states. Your jump would be like if the player press something to flip. This would be like what would be like in blueprint without state. So your jump will have all the flip. Yeah, if you want the character to flip while he's walking, then you will have, if the player press the button slip while in the walking branch condition. So the state, the difference is that you don't need to repeat it. Like you don't need to. It will switch to. It would be like every state is like a moment that the loop is entering. Like he's walking or is idle, then the player press a button, he's not idle anymore. He goes to the walking state, and then get hit. It goes to the hit state. And you can use this for AI, but if you want your AI to be more advanced, this finite state machine will become a big spaghetti. Like it will be too big and too hard to maintain. So for AI, usually you would switch to behavior tree, and Unreal has a behavior tree already set up. I don't know if I think it might have a finite state machine blueprint style. Let's search Unreal FSM blueprint. It's the animation. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's a state pattern and blueprint, the animation blueprint. So if you don't want to do it in C++, there is this one. I remember I tried it a bit. But as I said, you would want this to be made in C++ at the beginning as soon as possible, because it's where your bottleneck would be if your game is an action game. Okay, it's not the animation stuff, but it shows how to do idle state and blueprints. Well, no, it's not the animation stuff. But I guess you connect it with the animation as usual, like in Unity. Okay, so let's continue. I'll be going away in 14 minutes or less. So I need to go fast. No, I just will start integrating it. If you want to, C++ is hard to set up in Unreal. I don't know if I guess it's still working with the video I will show. There is a couple of videos, but there was one. This guy is a good one, but it's already 1 year old. But for my current project, I use this one. So it's hard to set up. I remember in my class, everyone had trouble setting it up. Everyone switched to Rider almost, but I didn't. I want to make sure to, because Rider, it's not free. So this one was very good. So I guess it's still, but if you have trouble, try a more recent one. But the current one, the current project, I set it up with this one and it still worked. What else? I needed to repair some stuff in my project. Maybe that will take all the time. My projects only actually. So sometimes, if you want to not see this, Like if you go without the source engine of Unreal, you might see some squiggles. Like you open an Unreal file. Currently, it's not doing this, but let's try to rebuild everything. It will take some time. Yeah, I remember this tons of errors. I might need to correct those. I think I need to build the shaders or something. I want to correct this one because it's not this one. It's like a warning. You can go out without it. Let's see what AI says. Upgrade the package. The most immediate fit. Magic to a newer package. Recommended action. Always update to a shake. You can read more. But how do I update it? Magic.net. Magic. Is it already installed? Are you kidding? How do I switch it? How to update? To update from Switch. You will see an update button. I don't see an update button. Package manager console. Package manager console. Go to tools. New get package manager. Package manager console. Paste. So run. The command I run is this. See if it works. Close control git. You are trying to edit you're on. Yes. 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 Yeah. Well. Okay, it's updated. Let's rebuild this. Already better. Okay. The full of warning. You can cancel the build. That can help break. As I can see, The namespace will already contain the definition for the scan plugin. Let's try this. Solution: remove any duplicate or backup scan source file from your plugin or engine directory. It's not in there, so it will be in the program file, big gains, plugins. ABCDEFG. Mega scan plugins. What's wrong with it? The plugins folder or its file are copied more than once. Solution: remove any duplicate. I'm trying to ensure only a single Mega scan plugin build. How to fix source. Okay, I need to go in there. Source. Mega scan plugin. Ensure only one Mega scan plugin. Check if it's only defined once. Check in the U plugin. That U plugin and make sure the multi. Where is the U plugin? Clean rebuild. Okay. This I did already do this, which is to remove intermediate. Close this one. Try again. Intermediate. Binary. Binaries. Yes. Also this one. And engine plugins. Not this one. What? Restart ID. Right click. Rebuild. If using Quick Bridge, ensure it installs the Mega scan plugin only once. To array. Maybe go one error at one. I think I need to reinstall my engine instead. Let's do this. Also, there's a new game. I forgot. New game and new assets. New games and new assets. So store, you go to store, and there we now this game and the other. And the new asset, it's in fact I can take it yet. Fab.com. Really limited time warehouse werewolf wolf magic spline. And now what do you remember? The professional art. Oh no, not again. Of course. And so before going further, I'm just going to reinstall my engine there. Let's see the install plugin. There's 3 plugin MetaHuman, Pixel, Fab. Yeah, log in into your Epic account. This is the time I thought this. Sorry for this, but yeah, it has to be. It has to be during this long time I solved some of the problem yesterday. Not yesterday, during the weekend, but I had to clean up, prepare my room for some, you know, some renovations. Um, so add to cart instead of buy. Now the next one, professional cart. Looks good. Looks fine. It's fine. Professional. But it professional cart. Cart. Your cart. Professional. Check out. So the it would have been $1,300. It's a warehouse which is it's like $1,000. And yeah, sorry for that, but I didn't have the time. When you install, there should be options there. Options. This one, and yeah. This one installing. So while it's doing this, can we go back to this one? Look at some of the videos. Look then, yes, it was first knowing the difference when to apply it. What's that? It's the intro or what? It's cool. Seems to be a good channel to follow this. Oh, it's on there. The thing is, it's not good for data driven. It does more cache misses because the programming in object oriented, you can avoid it by doing data driven structure. I don't know the name. I don't remember, but it does more cache misses because the memory is too far apart. In a video game, what you would do to avoid this is to put similar stuff into one memory block and try to, yeah, that's one of the issue with object oriented is will lead you to make more cache misses because the elements, the objects are far apart in memory. Just like I said. bad. Oh. I will need to go soon. So if you want to look at this video, it's built in 2.3 as C++ knowing the difference by Anvil and channel. So now I need to go. Thank you for watching. I might be back today, but I guess not. Probably tomorrow. Continue. Yeah. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.